Welcome to GasEd. Today we will be discussing migrating n8n workflows between accounts, including from cloud-hosted to self-hosted setups. As a small business owner or operations leader stepping into the world of AI and automation, taking full control of your infrastructure is a massive milestone. But moving your complex automation assets from one environment to another shouldn't be something that keeps you up at night. So today we're breaking down a highly secure, automated method to transfer your data flawlessly. Okay, let's just dive right into our structured playbook for today. We're going to cover the core migration challenges, look at an external tracking solution, configure some API credentials, handle exporting and logging, and finally, import those workflows into self-hosted and local environments. So Section 1, the Workflow Migration Challenge, or how to scale your operations without losing any data. Now, moving complex automation infrastructure manually, that introduces some major operational risks. When your business literally relies on automation to run, a botched migration isn't just a tiny technical glitch. It's a direct hit to your business continuity. Relying on unlogged, direct manual transfers can cause some serious headaches. If you try to push everything over all at once, there's a huge risk of accidentally copying the same workflow 10 times over, leaving you with a massive clutter of duplicates. On the flip side, an automated migration uses external tracking. It provides a built-in failsafe, so if the system crashes midway, you know exactly where you left off. To put this into perspective, just imagine scaling up to, say, 512 active workflows. That is an enormous amount of operational logic keeping your lights on. Processing a massive batch like this absolutely requires a systematic approach. If your system times out while you're moving 512 workflows manually and you aren't logging your progress, well, you're practically flying blind. You won't have a clue which ones succeeded and which ones failed. Moving right along to Section 2, the external tracking solution and managing your migration state. A really elegant, straightforward solution to this whole IT problem is to just use an external database. Something as simple as a Google Sheet can act as your definitive migration ledger. By pushing your workflow IDs and names over to a sheet with a dedicated status column, you can systematically track which assets are queued up as to process and which ones are safely marked as processed. It's pretty genius, actually. You just pull the workflow data from the old instance, log it right here, and then only tell your new instance to grab the ones still marked to process.
All right, Section 3, configuring n8n API credentials. This is all about securely bridging those two instances.
So to make these two environments actually talk to each other, we've got to set up authentication. It's basically a 4-step process. Step 1, in your old cloud instance, just head over to Settings and then hit n8n API. Step 2, click Create API Key. You can set an expiration for, say, 30 days, or just let it run indefinitely. Step 3, copy that base URL. And finally, Step 4, add this API key credential directly to the n8n node that's going to handle the migration. And you'll just repeat that exact same process for your new destination instance. Now here is absolutely crucial part, getting the formatting right. You have to remember this rule. Your n8n base URL must have the specific API path appended to it, otherwise they just won't communicate. For example, if your cloud instance is yourinstance.cloud, you paste that into the node, but then you absolutely must add /API/v1 to the very end. Oh, and double check you didn't accidentally leave 2 slashes in the middle of the URL. Getting this formatting perfectly clean ensures a secure, solid connection. Okay, Section 4, exporting and logging workflows, where we actually extract your business logic. So what are we actually moving here? Technically, we're extracting what's called a workflow object. It's essentially a massive, highly detailed payload of JSON code. It holds everything, every single parameter, all your logic paths, the updated at timestamps, the active status. It even grabs the visual layout stickers on your canvas. It's literally the complete DNA of your business operations, bundled right up into code. Now, while the exact business logic transfers flawlessly via this JSON payload, meaning your nodes, connections, and complex parameters all move over perfectly, there are some deliberate security limits we need to talk about. For obvious security reasons, things like user credentials, account users, and historical execution logs, those do not migrate. There's no automated workaround for this, and honestly, that is a really good thing. You definitely want to be manually resetting and re-authenticating those secure credentials whenever you're spinning up a brand new environment. Which brings us to Section 5, importing to self-hosted accounts and finalizing the transfer. Here's where the magic of that logged migration really pays off. The automation reads your Google Sheet ledger. Step 1, it filters for any rows marked to process. Step 2, it loops through those IDs one by one, fetching that huge JSON workflow object we just talked about. Step 3, It pushes that payload directly to your new self-hosted API, completely rebuilding the workflow on the other side. And lastly, step 4, it securely updates the ledger status to processed. This totally prevents any duplication and guarantees a super clean sweep of your assets. Finally, Section 6, migrating to local instances, for those looking at alternative environments. Now, you might be wondering, how do we migrate workflows from a cloud instance directly into a highly secured, local, completely offline environment? This introduces a really unique challenge, right? Because a cloud API obviously can't just push data straight into a protected, offline machine sitting under your desk. The automated push method we just looked at heavily relies on the destination server actually being accessible from the web. So, to solve this, we just have to get a little bit creative. You can still automate the extraction part by writing the JSON data text straight into an accessible external sheet, which you then manually pull down to your local machine later. Or an even simpler workaround is to just use the Cloud Panel's native export tool. You go to Manage, hit Export, and download a neat little zip file that has all your JSON files ready for a manual local upload. And honestly, this brings us to an incredibly empowering realization. Once you understand that these workflows are ultimately just portable JSON data objects, you start to realize that your entire automation infrastructure is completely yours to command, whether it lives in the cloud, on a self-hosted server, or locally on your own desktop computer. Now that you hold the keys to seamlessly transferring your infrastructure, what massive operational bottlenecks are you going to automate next? That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.